Sakuracon just wrapped, and it's one of the biggest anime conventions in the Pacific Northwest with an attendance of about 25,000 people. I've been attending for about a decade now. I haven't gone every single year in the past decade, but I have been at Sakuracon during the March-April weekend that it's landed on. This video is going to be a random roundup of clips from the weekend, a few clips from the ROOKiEZ Punked concert that my friends wanted to attend. I didn't really know who they were before the concert, but if you want to see what the experience was like, keep on watching. Some scenes from Artist Alley where I created and sold art for the very first time this year at Sakuracon, and just random scenes of Seattle, Capitol Hill, and some things you can do if you visit, or even if you live here, just some cool places that maybe you can check out and munch at. I'll start off with the vlog clips, and then I'll talk briefly about my Artist Alley experience, and then a teeny tiny haul from the Artist Alley and Exhibitors Hall, just because I was trying to save money, so it's just a little baby haul this time. Okay, roll the vlog. I'll see you guys back in a bit.
Structure of the grid. We need to put our prints up and everything, so that'll be exciting. Hopefully sales will be good. Day one starts soon. Notes for not skiing.
I want the bunny more than the hamster.
If they had a smaller one, I'd buy it for my friend.
Yeah.
Does it look different?
It doesn't look different. It just looks
It's so funny. Scared. I didn't say get like. Oh, we gotta line up now? Okay. I guess it's popular. I guess we can. That's an option.
Might as well.
Right.
What's up, Sakuracon? Everybody, let's go fucking crazy. Are you ready? Are you ready? Say yeah, yeah. First time experience of Seattle. I feel Seattle is so very beautiful now. Evergreen. People are so kind and food is so good. Now, one of the most favorite towns in the world. Thank you very much.
don't like eggplant? Oh.
I don't either, actually.
Really? What is wrong with you people over here? The ice cream. Look at the scoop of it.
That's like kind of, I don't know, maybe this was my like imagination. It looks like it's melting too.
Kyle's ear can be in the room.
Are you YouTubing about Sakuracon?
My sister's husband always looks away. He doesn't want to be in the video.
Like, mosaic my face.
Kyle is so tall. Oh my god.
Face, chest. Whoops.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really good. Chocolate rose petals. What'd you get?
I got the Magnolia and we got the Cloud Forest Hazelnut.
Let me know how that is. It looks good.
Rhubarb crumble and wildflower honey.
Ooh, I have to try.
So excited for it. What'd you end up getting?
I really like the rose chocolate. Yeah.
Can I try some?
Yeah, you can try some. I volunteered in merchandising, guest relations, and have even taught kids how to make Japanese crafts, but I've never created and sold my own art to Japanese anime fan art fanatics. This is just going to be a snippet of my experience doing Artist Alley. If you want a more in-depth analysis of my experience at Artist Alley, comment below and let me know if that's something that you'd love to see. So I'm just going to go into the biggest impressions / musings. Number one is have art of characters that other artists don't have prints or any other pieces of. So for example, I did a piece with Agretsuko, Washimi, and Gori from Agretsuko. I would call Agretsuko anime, but it was more produced by Netflix in partnership with Sanrio or an animation company working with Sanrio. Those who were passing by my booth that didn't buy anything even said that they hardly saw any Agretsuko related fan art. They only saw it at my booth. And I did see something Agretsuko related, but it was only a small figure in the exhibitors hall, so this Agretsuko print ended up being my best-selling print from the weekend. If you want to be successful at Artist Alley, I would try to spot trends of maybe unique characters or even niche characters that have a very dedicated fan base that not everyone's going to be into, but you'll have that small subset of people willing to grab anything to add to their art collection. Another popular character was this print here of Gwendolyn from the video game Odin Sphere. It was also very popular, and there were a lot of people that came by my booth that said they we're seeing less and less of Gwendolyn fan art every year. It seemed like she was also a hot commodity too, with a few people that were huge fans. Secondly, I would have focused on creating smaller prints instead of larger prints, because my hypothesis before con, at least was confirmed in my eyes. The hypothesis being that a lot of con goers saved their money, their allowance, for this convention, and so they were trying to make sure that they had enough money for everything they wanted. So many started off the weekend with doing the rounds of looking at what was actually out there, and then figure out later how to divvy up their funds to make sure they had enough money to purchase all the art that they wanted the most from the various artists. Because of this, I saw that at most customers would buy only 1 or 2 prints from me, whereas I think if I created smaller prints, they might be more apt to buying more prints at a lower price point. Just in general, start out with smaller prints if you're new to Artist Alley so you don't have huge overhead costs. Now I have a lot of really large prints in my inventory, and it could just be this con, maybe more people were looking for smaller prints, but I think in general, if you're new and starting off, I would start off with smaller prints. Something to keep in mind if you're space conscious for your inventory, or you don't want to have too much cost up front getting started with selling art. In general, most customers or attendees seem to be interested in digital art, which makes sense. Anime is largely done in digital art unless, you're reading manga, and a lot of manga art is still done in traditional media, such as with Copic markers. And I think as a result, because more attendees were looking for digital art, my art wasn't as popular. I did get a handful of comments saying that, oh, your art looks very traditional or retro, it looks very old school. So it's something to keep in mind that if your art isn't digital art or something with mass appeal, you might have to rethink maybe what characters or types of art you produce. And this goes into the fact that I actually only made back the cost of the table and my badge membership for Sakuracon. Only made back a portion of the cost to reprint the originals of the prints that I created to sell. Even though this was not a financially successful con for me, I still met so many sweet and supportive people who seem to appreciate my art. So just a special shout out to a few people. I don't know if they'll ever watch this video, but I just wanted to be grateful to the people who did support me. And number one being a girl that came by the first time, looked at everything and said she loved my style and wanted to buy everything. She left to get her brother and her husband, I believe, or boyfriend, because they had the funds on them, and she came back and looked through my album, and it was so cute. She was analyzing deeply all of the prints, wondering what color schemes would go well with her decoration and what she gravitated to the most, or what piece was the best. And her boyfriend was saying, oh, well, if you want a color scheme that is in the same kind of range, go with this one. Or if you want more of a splash of colors, go with this one. And she was there for a good 5, maybe 10 minutes looking through everything. Ultimately, she went with the Sailor Moon print because of the colors. She said that she loved her hair. I loved drawing her hair. Thank you so much for your support. Another girl came by and said she wanted to buy everything, and she also really liked my style. She left. I wasn't sure if she was going to come back because, sometimes even if customers say they'll come back later, some of them don't return, which makes sense. Maybe they find something else that they'd rather spend their money on. She actually returned, and she bought an Agrutsko print. She told me she was going to frame it and put it on a table that she was decorating in her house. And so I asked her to send me a photo when she finally did decorate her table. Thank you so much for purchasing the Agrutsko print. I can't wait to see the picture of how the print works with all of the decor. I was also surprised and thankful that I received 2 commission requests. One was a sketch request that I completed at the convention. The second being a colored 6x9 chibi original character print for another lovely customer. And I do have an art Instagram where I'm posting all this art separate from my style and travel Instagram, so make sure you follow that. I'll put the link somewhere here, above, below, sideways, wherever makes sense. Yeah, so even though I didn't make money, it was awesome to meet so many wonderful people, to meet fellow artists, and based on what I've learned from this con, I'll carry that into the future. But yes, let me know if you'd like me to chat more about doing Artist Alley. Let's get into what I actually hauled from Artist Alley / Exhibitors Hall. I hauled one from each section of the convention. I'm sorry I don't have too much to share. My allowance for myself for the convention was very tight, so I really only wanted to purchase things I was absolutely in love with. This first piece is actually a necklace from B&B Deco. It's this unicorn popsicle Lolita type necklace. It has an iridescent glitter all over it. There are dollops of whipped cream dotting the popsicle with little Swarovski crystals, pearls, and little unicorn horn on the very top. The Lolita theme of pastels and cuteness is all over. All the pieces are actually hand molded, so you're not going to get the exact same piece. Someone with another popsicle unicorn necklace isn't going to have a similar one to mine. I actually stood there for the longest time. I think the shopkeepers were thinking, is she gonna buy something or why is she taking so long? Because I was deciding between this and other necklaces such as ones with macarons and whatnot. But the reason I went with this one is because I think I can still pair it with t-shirts, shirts, skirts, just any normal everyday wear. And while it does have a kawaii splash, it's not too overpowering. The other pieces looked very strictly Lolita. If you didn't know, in a past life I used to wear a lot of Sweet Lolita, and I still have Sweet Lolita dresses, but I don't wear full-on Sweet Lolita anymore. But I still live the rainbow world of cute food, flowers, all the designs, and this is a little piece of my Sweet Lolita fashion heart that I can show in my everyday, more street fashion. This is going to be that kick if I don't have enough in my outfit. Attention to detail is stunning, and of course, you know, I can't pass up anything with stars, so ultimately what made my decision when I couldn't decide what necklace to get was which necklace had the most stars on it. And you can see this has no shortage of stars, so I thought this is destiny. I'll get this one. They also provide care instructions so that you can clean your jewelry properly, which shows that they care about the craftsmanship and the value of your piece. Anyways, it's spring in the Pacific Northwest, and this is a popsicle, so it will be perfect for all the summer kawaii that I want to throw into my looks. You're going to love this second part of the haul. Should you be a Pokemon, especially Eevee Evolution fan. I snatched up 8 pins from a set of Eevee and Eevee's Evolutions. I'm only missing one, sadly. Comment below to answer if you know which Eevee Evolution I'm missing. He was sold out before I got to these pins, so I just have the 8 out of 9. All of the Eevee Evolutions are chibi, and they're looking adorable with their fluffy manes, and I love how swooshy the art is. I love fluidity in line art. We have the first evolution of Eevee, Vaporeon, our spiky water type, Flareon, our sassy fire type, Glaceon, the cool ass type, Umbreon, the dark type in the shadows, Leafeon, our organic grass type. I'm just gonna get the organic, I don't know if Leafeon's organic. Maybe natural grass type sounds better. Espeon, our psychic type, she can read your mind. Isn't that a skill we all wish we had? Well, maybe that could actually kind of be scary, but maybe you don't want to know what certain people are thinking about. Sylveon, the fairy type. Oh, so magical. Loving the variety, and I'm obsessed by sets. So if you have a Pokemon set or anything that's a set of cuteness, usually I want to get it. Sylveon and Umbreon are glittery. I'll do a close-up so you can see all of the sparkle. So clever, of course, they would be the glittery bunch out of the Eevee Evolutions. And I need to figure out a home for all of these pins. Hopefully, if you're planning to go to Sakuracon in the future, this gave you a small peek or preview into what you can expect. If I return to Sakuracon next year, I want to do a more detailed video about my experience and just everyone's creativity every year that I'm so impressed by, whether it be their cosplay or their art. And whenever I have a chance, I love to support local artists. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any style, travel, or I guess these more event type videos that I do. I mean, in a way they are centered around art and style. Give this video a like so I know that this is what you enjoy seeing from me. I hope this week is going wonderfully for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!